Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura. I love and I'm obsessed with manifestation, wellness, self-love, self-trust, healing, feminine energy. All of those things are my jam and I love them. So I thought I was having a breakdown, but now that I'm on the other side of all of that, bad vibes, I actually realized that I was having a breakthrough. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. This video is for any of the girlies out there who have been on a manifestation journey, a self-concept journey, a healing journey, and if you feel like you have been doing all the work, doing all the right things, taking action, reading the books, listening to the podcast, but you feel like you hit a wall, you feel like you lost momentum, you feel drained, you feel like you're not seeing any results from all of the work that you've been doing, this video is for you. And I just want this video to feel like a hug from a big sister or a best friend, because I wish I had that when I was going through it. Okay, bestie, I was in the trenches and I feel like I could not speak to anyone about it because they would just look at me like, girl, you need help. Because I felt like I was just in a knot, like a crazy, my mind just would not shut up for a few weeks and it was just so draining. I want to start this video by telling you that a breakdown and a breakthrough can feel like the same thing energetically, but behind the scenes, they're not. They're absolutely not. So when you're in a breakthrough phase, what is happening is that all that inner work that you've been doing, all the things you've been learning, all the ways you've been healing and taking care of yourself and just being more self-aware and emotionally intelligent, which is a byproduct of doing inner work, all the work that you've been doing, changing yourself, evolving, it freaks your nervous system and your body out a little bit because you are shedding an old identity, right? You're changing, you're evolving, and your brain can be like, oh my God, this isn't routine, this isn't what we're used to, this is new and we don't know what we're doing. Because the brain is like a well-oiled machine and it goes by data and it goes by what's familiar and what's safe. And when you begin to evolve and change, the brain is literally like, what is going on here? We don't recognize anything, we don't recognize these patterns, we don't recognize these habits, like what the helly? That's what your brain is saying. And this is usually because you are dismantling the old you, the old self, the old identity, who was likely living in survival mode for the longest time. And I want to go a bit further on giving you the key differences between a breakdown and a breakthrough. A breakdown is when you spiral and you can't get out. It's when you are spiraling and you stay there and there's no new awareness, there's no shifts or anything coming through, and it just feels like a dark hole that keeps getting worse and worse. A breakthrough feels like this at first, but then you start to notice differences. You witness yourself in this spiral, i.e. if you feel like you're on a loop of negative thoughts and self-deprecating thoughts, you catch yourself in that. It's like you become so self-aware that you know you're doing it and you're like, hang on, hang on. I literally know that I'm doing this. I know it's not good for me. And it's you having that self-awareness that you caught yourself in the loop. And if you're watching this video, let me tell you, you've caught yourself in the loop. Okay, so that's one tick. The second thing is that you can find or begin to find some sort of meaning in this discomfort that you're feeling, i.e. if you even have a passing thought that's like, maybe this is part of my unfolding, maybe this is part of it, maybe I'm shedding the new skin, and you can be open to that idea, you are in a breakthrough. So to summarize, breakdown, spiraling and staying there, no new perspective, and to keep repeating the same pattern, doing the same things, knowing they're not helping you or benefiting you, in fact knowing they're making it worse, but not having the awareness to realize that. Breakthrough, you notice yourself in a spiral, you are aware that that something's changing, that you're not in that comfortable state that you were before. If you're able to still make micro better choices for yourself, if you know that going for a walk will at least give you some relief, and maybe it won't make your entire day better, but maybe it'll make the next hour or two a bit more light feeling, so you go ahead and do it, then that is a sign that you are in a breakthrough. So 1, self-awareness, you can at least acknowledge what's happening while it's happening. 2, different choices, even if they're micro, even if they're teeny tiny. 3, if you have the opinion, or you can at least be open to the opinion that this is part of the unfolding. If you can assign the meaning that this is going to benefit me, this is part of the journey. If you're experiencing a breakthrough right now and it feels uncomfortable, and trust me, I know, and it feels draining and it feels like uncertainty, and for me it felt like almost, I felt sad and lonely, like I was grieving parts of the old self and the old life that I knew I was outgrowing and that I knew I had to give up to welcome in the new. So trust me, I understand how it can be sad, it can be lonely, you can be feeling down. I completely understand that. And don't deny those feelings either, because sometimes it's true what they say, the only way out is through. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to name how you're feeling out loud. You can say, I am feeling sad right now. I'm feeling sad right now, but this doesn't mean that I'm failing. This doesn't mean that everything's going wrong. This doesn't mean I'm going backwards. And I want you to reframe it by saying, my system is just recalibrating. Everything is working itself out behind the scenes. And this is just my mind's way of telling me that it's looking for the familiar and it can't find it right now. But that's not a bad thing. So name it out loud, however you're feeling, sad, anxious, angry, frustrated. Name it out loud and reframe it in real time. It removes the shame and the blame, and it stops you going down that backwards spiral again. The second thing I want you to do is choose an anchor ritual. And this isn't a 40-minute meditation or some hour-long task. No, it's literally a 1 to 2 to 3 minute micro action you can take to anchor yourself in the moment. So that can be 3 slow, deep breaths. That could be walking to a different room and having a tall glass of cold water. It can be 2 minutes of somatic shaking or dancing or stretching or just moving your body. And this just, sometimes you can just get that stuck feeling, that overwhelming energy, you can just get it out of your body by doing one of those micro actions. It doesn't take long, it doesn't take that much effort, but it can really, really help. I want you to stop measuring your progress by how you feel in the moment. For example, because I spent a prolonged period of time feeling just so, I felt empty, I felt drained, and I really thought I was going backwards till I came out the other side and I realized even in that time where I felt so burned out and I just felt so empty, I was still showing up. I was doing these things that I'm describing now in the video. I was doing these things hoping that yes, it would make a difference, and I was just going with what I knew and what I thought might help, and it did. Honestly, it did. And if I could go back in time to when I felt that way, I would tell myself this: stop measuring your progress by how you feel right now. You've done so much inner work, you've done so much to benefit yourself, and that has compounded, and you're just recalibrating. You're not going backwards, you're not spiraling, trust me. And it's about remembering, it's not always about how you feel in the moment, it's how you respond to it. Now, the fourth thing is more if you are feeling drained and burned out like I was, and I was giving myself such a hard time for not like following the usual routine that I would normally have for my self-concept and my self-care and all of those things. Micro moves only. If your day feels super heavy and you're just like, this was me, I was like, I just need to go through and get the bare minimum done so like nothing crashes and burns. Feel 100%? No. Do I feel myself? No. Do I feel like I can give 100% to everything? Not really, but I'll try. Of course, get all the things done that you need to get done. If you have a job, you have children, you have, the things that obviously need to be taken care of, but anything to do with if inner work or manifestation, self-development type work, micro moves only. Don't read a chapter of the book, read 2 pages and see how you feel. Don't do a 20-minute meditation, start with 5 and see how you feel. Don't go and do a 10-kilometer run at the gym unless obviously that energizes you and that feels good to you, because I know that fitness is different for everyone. For me personally, I normally love going to the gym after work and things like that in the evenings, but during this time I could not, I just there was nothing that I could think of that would be worse to me in that moment. Like, okay, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to make sure that I go on 2 walks today instead of 1, or 3 walks today instead of 2, and I'm going to make sure that I get enough fresh air and I get enough sunlight, and that's enough. That's going to be enough for me. If you are feeling burned out from all the inner work and self-development stuff, please, please, please give yourself some playtime. Please, it's so important. Do something fun that's not related to optimizing any part of your life or productivity or inner work or self-development. Do something that's just fun, just playtime. Buy a coloring in book, buy a puzzle. That's what I did. Well, my brother actually got me a puzzle, but yeah, do something that's not involved with productivity. Just do something fun, do something silly, do something that doesn't have a reward at the end, and teach your mind that it's okay to rest and it's okay to have playtime again. Okay guys, that was my advice for when you're feeling like you're going through a breakdown. Please know that what's waiting on the other side is so magical. I want you to know that your dream self, your ideal self, isn't built in the most perfect conditions. It's built in the mess in between, and you build her by responding differently and showing up differently and just taking care of yourself, most importantly, and being kind to yourself. That is number 1. So I want you to know that you absolutely have got this, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.